All right, it is summertime and families are packing their bags, loading up the station wagons, and hitting the road. That's right, they're hitting all the tourist hot spots, and one here in the States is called Mount Rushmore. It's where they've got the image of presidents carved out on the side of it, right? So, what if they had something like that for metal? That's right, Mount Mosh-More. If so, which five metal bands would you put up there? All right, hey everybody, Sean here with Some Dude in Texas, and welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, hey, thanks for stopping by. All right, so man, I had some killer response from the last video that I did like this. Which five thrash albums you would save if your house was on fire. Man, I had a lot of fun with that. It was cool seeing everybody's response videos and then seeing all the comments. Man, it was really cool. So I figured we'll do something like that again, man. So I'm gonna let y'all, once again, have fun with it. This would be which five metal bands would you put for your Mount Moshmore, right? Now I got it. Mount Rushmore is American presidents, right? But man, metal has no boundaries, no borders, right? It is international. So pick any metal band you want. It doesn't have to be a US band, right? And you can pick, any genre. I mean, you can do it, if you want to mix it up with different genres, you can do that as well. If you want to just put the ones you like, if you want to put, which bands you think had the biggest impact on the metal scene, you can do that as well. So for me, I'm going to kind of spread it out a little bit. I'm looking at it, I'm just going to use bands, right? But if you want to do like individuals, like a certain member or certain artist that you think that really influenced metal, you can do that as well. But I'll keep it simple and just pick five bands. So I'm going to use just kind of do like the bands that I think kind of impact metal and made a big change. So I'm going to use kind of that theme when I come to my Mount Moshmore, right? So, all right, so starting off, man, I think of like death metal, right? American death metal, especially that Floridian, that Florida death metal. Yeah, for me, I mean, automatically when I think of that genre or, that style, I think of these guys right here, right? Obituary, man. So they would be, my first band I would put, number five all the way over to, on the right side. Like I said, I know there's other bands coming out of there. There was Cannibal Corpse, Malevolent and all them, and Death, of course, with Chuck. But I don't know. I just always think of Obituary, man. And, they're still going, strong, kicking out killer albums. John Tardy's voice is just unmistakable. You know who it is. And then, of course, Trevor, that guitar tone, man. Once again, that's just concrete, not concrete, but you just, when you hear it, that it's a Obituary, right? And then Donald, man. I mean, his drumming, instead of just doing, 500 miles an hour blast beats all the time, he's creative. He's got grooves. He's doing some fills. And, yeah, he does some somewhat fast, but that, mid-tempo. And I just think he adds a lot of creativity and just kind of, he's the glue that brings all of that together, man. So, for my, number five spot for Mount Moshmore would definitely, be the Florida death metal giants, Obituary. All right, so next band be right next to Obituary in the fourth spot. Another band that I think that really kind of impacted, and it's not just because I'm a Texas guy, but be Pantera, right? They came in, say what you say, what you will about them. I know they had their little glam band, period and all of that, and then they came heavy and all that. But you look at what they did when metal kind of disappeared for a little while, right? That post-grunge period, right? Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer had never been mainstream. Anthrax was a little bit, but they just kind of disappeared for a little bit. They were still Metallica and Megadeth, but they wasn't as heavy, right? Bands like Slipknot and Lamb of God, they hadn't came on the scene yet. So Pantera really kind of paved that wave for the 2000 metal scene, right? I mean, they just hit the ground running with, Cowboys from Hell. And then when they put out Vulgar, man, that was just blew the doors off of everything, right? And then, of course, feel that voice. And then, can't forget, Dimebag. That guitar tone and his riffs, man, are just, historical, and the solos as well. So I think they definitely earn a spot up there on the Mount Mosh-More. All right, now next one, we'll skip the third because that'll be right in the middle. We'll go over to the left spot there. Leave that middle open for the last band. So next, I would put another kind of metal. Well, I say thrash giants, right? One of the big four. They kind of put that Bay Area West Coast thrash scene, on the map. I'm gonna go with Slayer, right? I know you got Megadeth, Metallica, but I just think Slayer. They just, not taking away from the other bands, but they stayed true, right? They came out, they hit the ground running. It was heavy, scary sounding, and when you listen to it, you're like, what is this, right? And they pretty much stayed that all the way through their career. And it's just one of those bands. Again, when you hear it, it's no denying who it is, right? Tom's voice, Carrie's guitar tone, and their solos and everything. Jeff's solos, and of course Dave's drumming. You know it's Slayer when you hear it right off the bat. And I think they just really impacted that scene and just helped create it, right, and put it on the map. So Slayer definitely deserves a spot up there on the Mount Moshmore. All right. Now, next band, we're going to move out of the States, right? This is another band that, definitely, I think, kind of helped shape metal, right? And you can't deny, the metal god, right? Rob Halford, but that's going to be Judas Priest. They just kind of helped shape that early 80s, just traditional metal sound, with Rob's voice and Glenn and KK's, guitar riffs and solos. And it's just, I think it really, my number one, I'll say them in a second, but they kind of took what they started off with and just ran with it, right? And then just, made it their own. And then once again, they're still going strong today. Rob's voice is still sounding great, but another band, when you hear them, right off the bat, that's Judas Priest. So they definitely, deserve a spot up there as well. All right, so here we go. Last band's going to get that middle spot right there in the middle of Mount Moshmore. All right, we'll get a little drum roll here, and that would be Black Sabbath. I kind of figured that was coming, right? Those the Godfathers, right? They pretty much created metal, and just talking about an impact, right? And talking about influencing, all these other bands that came after, that heavier. I know you had, Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin, bands like that, but that was more kind of towards that hard rock. But Black Sabbath was just heavy, and it just scared the hell out of you. You didn't know what to think about it. Just that killer tone from Tony, and then Geezer's bass, and then Bill's drumming, and then of course Ozzy's vocals, right? And even when Ozzy left, the albums that they put out with Dio was just killer as well. But to me, they definitely deserve that center spot, man, because I think they definitely helped create that genre. So that's it, man. That's my Mount Moshmore. And like y'all said, man, have fun with it, man. Make some response videos if you want, or just leave some comments. I'll let y'all, decide whatever band you want. You can do any metal genre. If you want to do individuals, if you want to have Ozzy or whatever on there, you can do that as well. But have fun with it, man. If you do that response video, be sure to tag me so I can check it out, man. And, man, I appreciate y'all watching, taking time on y'all's day to check out my little channel. And until next time, y'all take care.